Hey everyone, today we're going to do some work through the cross-lateral slings of the body. So what that means is we have this internal sling of musculature from your opposite hip to opposite shoulder that give you cross-lateral strength. So we are cross-lateral movers. We should be moving cross-laterally, which means upper body right and lower body left at the same time. And if we have a break in one of those pathways that affects one of those limbs, so either through injury or neurological condition, then suddenly we have a compensation going on in the opposite one. So for example, if we had a problem in the left leg, we often get a compensatory pattern through the right shoulder as well. So by doing some of the stuff we're going to do this morning, we're going to try and connect those cross-lateral slings a little better to try and get this all working, functioning a little bit more optimally. So we're going to start off on all fours, hands directly underneath your shoulders, knees directly underneath your hips, and your knees hip width apart. So not together and not too wide, just underneath your hips. And we're just going to find your pelvic neutral. So what that means is the position that your hips are holding in a neutral position. So I'm going to get you to arch your back completely. So you're going to roll your hips forward towards the floor, keeping your arms straight. And then you're going to activate the core by stopping yourself and having a wee. Engage the bum muscles and round up towards the roof. And then we're going to come back down again, arching the back, and then activating the core and the glutes and rounding your back up to the roof. So we're going to just do a couple here. So we find that movement of the hip bones. As you round up, stop yourself having a wee, engage your glutes or your bum muscles. Let's go 2 more. Good, and then rounding up to the roof, engage your glutes. And then last one, arching, and then rounding up. Good, nice. Okay, so a pelvic neutral, or where your hip should be optimally, is somewhere between those two extremes. So not super rounded, not super arched, just halfway in the middle of those two, okay? So what we're going to do here is we're going to just try and hold this pelvic neutral, so not let your hips wiggle around as we do this. I want you to activate your core by stopping yourself having a wee. So engage right down here, deep low between, from the belly button down. And we're going to try and reach one arm out in front of you. So you're going to take a breath in, and as you breathe out, you're going to stop yourself having a wee, and we're just going to reach the right arm out in front of you. And then we're going to bring it back down again. You're going to take a breath in. As you breathe out, again, stop yourself having a wee, draw up and under from here as you reach the other arm in front of you. If you feel like your shoulder is collapsing, really push the floor away with the support arm. Take a breath in again. As you breathe out, core on, stop yourself having a wee, reach that arm in front of you and push this other arm into the floor. And come back down again, one more. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, draw the core in, stop yourself having a wee here, and you're going to reach that other arm out in front of you. Good, now we're going to drop yourself into prayer stretch. You're going to push your tailbone down onto your heels, trying to keep your feet flat here. Now some of you might have a problem in the ankles where this feels a bit uncomfortable. I want you to try and push through the stretch a little bit, as long as it's not agony, as long as it's not causing you pain. If it just feels tight and stiff, let's try and push it to try and open that up a bit. Good, then we're going to come back to all fours and we're going to do another round there. So again, just play with this hip position until you find your neutral. So it's kind of feels like you've got this soft S curve in the base of the spine, and the back feels offloaded. It doesn't feel tight. Again, take a breath into your belly. As you breathe out, stop yourself having a wee, pull up from there and reach the arm out, right arm out in front of you. Then you're going to bring it back down again, shoulders set down and back, core on, and we're going to reach the other arm out in front of you. So as we're doing this, keep going. As you're doing this, make sure that your shoulders don't crunch. You're going to keep shoulders set down and back, and you're going to push the floor away with the support arm as you reach. So you should be feeling the tricep, this muscle of the support arm, and your core. So every time, stop yourself having a wee, pull up from there towards your belly button, push the support arm into the floor and reach. We're going to go one more on each side. Core on, shoulders set, arms straight, push the floor away and reach. And one more, here we go. Core on, stop yourself having a wee, push the floor away and reach. Good. And then we're going to sit back again into that prayer stretch. So push your tailbone right down onto your heels, reaching your arms ahead of you. Then we're going to take a breath in, and as you breathe out, you're going to move your hands over to the right hand side. So you get this stretch through the left lower back and left underarm. And then we're going to take your hands over to the other side, and we're going to stretch the other side. Good. Then we're going to come back onto all fours, and now we're going to start rolling onto the floor and over, which all works your cross-lateral slings, even though it just feels like you're moving about the floor, okay? So we're going to keep pressing into this outside hand, and you're going to reach your other hand underneath you as you drop your bum down to the floor and roll onto your side. So keep pressing this hand into the ground because it helps you with the cross lateral slings. Then we're going to roll onto your back, however it's comfortable to get there. And then we're going to take this left hand across the front of your body, push that hand into the floor to help you to push up onto all fours again. And then from here, we're going to go back down onto your side and then roll over again. So you're going to reach this hand underneath you to help your bum down onto the floor, help your hips onto your side. And then from here, you're going to push yourself over onto your back. And again, you're going to bring that right hand across your body, press this hand into the floor to help you push up onto all fours. So that movement of driving this hand into the floor is going to develop this whole dynamic core sling to help you to get up. And then we're going to go down again. So you're going to roll yourself over onto your side, reach this hand underneath you. Then roll yourself onto your back. Opposite hand comes across your body, pressing into the floor as you push up onto all fours. And then again, we're going to control your bum down, reach this hand underneath you, roll onto your back. Reach the opposite hand across the front of your body, pushing yourself up onto all fours. Good. Now we're going to just add a little bit of difficulty to that. So we're going to do the same thing again, where you roll yourself onto your side, reach your hand underneath you and onto your back. And then we're going to reach the opposite arm across, push through your hand up onto all fours. And now that we're here, I want you to activate your core, and I'm going to get you to bring your left foot on the outside of your left hand. So this movement might be tricky for you, and you might need to use your hand to help you to get your foot here. And that's okay if you need to do that. And then I want you to try and straighten up. Let's see if you can lift up from here, reaching your arms up to the roof. And then back down again. And then we're going to take this leg back down to the floor, using your core. We're going to roll yourself onto your side. Then roll yourself onto your back. Reach the opposite hand across the front of your body, pressing into the floor and onto all fours. And now we're going to use the core to bring your right foot on the outside of your right hand. Again, if you need to use your hand to help get your foot here, that's okay. Then I'm going to get you to try and engage the core and the glutes or the bum muscles to see if you can reach up. If you can't reach all the way up in the air, even just bringing your hands off the floor and putting them on your front knee for a second would be great. And even if you can't do that, you just try and offload for a second so we take the strength into your body. That'd be good. And then we're going to take this leg back down again using your core. And again, we're going to roll onto your side. We're going to do one more each side. So roll onto your side, rolling over onto your back. Opposite hand comes across the front of your body. Press that hand into the floor, pushing up onto all fours. Use your core as you bring your left leg on the outside of your left hand. Use your core and your glutes as you extend and reach up. Then hands come back down to the floor. Use your core as you take your left leg back down again. Roll your hips onto the floor, reach your right hand under your left. Roll onto your back. Right hand comes across the front of your body, pressing that hand into the floor, pushing yourself up onto all fours. Use your core to bring your right foot on the outside of your right hand. Use your core and your glutes to reach up nice and tall. And you sort of open up the front of the hip as you're here. Good. And then you're going to bring your hands back down to the floor and use your core to take this knee back down. And again, we're going to sit back into that prayer stretch position. Reaching the hands a little further forward and pushing your tailbone onto your heels. And again, you're going to take your hands over to the right hand side and open up the left side of the back. And then coming over to the other side, breathing out as you push your tailbone onto your heels. And then relax. Good, so that was one round. If you've got time, it'd be great for you to do that round again. So if you even you start right from the beginning again and just do it one more time, it should hopefully have warmed you up quite a lot, and you'll start to get more access into your core muscles and into your dynamic slings. Take care, see you soon.